Good morning, everyone. Today is Tuesday, October 31st. It is Halloween. So happy Halloween, everyone, for those who care. And this is going to be, quite a scary episode. Oddly enough, being Halloween and all, a lot has happened yesterday. And as you can see on the screen, these are the TSLY trades as of yesterday, which was Monday, October 30th. And I don't know if you could tell by looking at this, but they closed the synthetic positions and they opened new ones. As you know, the synthetic positions expired November 17th, and they were not looking, too shabby. So the fact that they did it this early is kind of surprising to me. But I did learn a lot since they did this, and I do stand corrected in a lot of different things here. So I'm going to go over, everything as I normally do and show you guys what I learned. And unfortunately, I have to give you bad news at the end because the distribution amount that I was calculating, it's going to be a little less. So brace yourself for the Halloween edition. The spooky edition of the TSLY Holdings review. So now let's get to it. So let's go to my sheets. The first tab, as always, I have all of the trades from 10:30. Just so you guys know, also, as always, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This video's fun and entertainment and me just tracking and learning what's going on with the TSLY ETF, the YieldMax TSLY ETF. So let's get to it. And I wanted to mention, these are not in the same order of the trades shown on the screenshot I just had. I have to put them in a slightly different order so it's easier for you guys to understand and look at. Me too. So the four at the top, these are the closing positions. These are the transactions that they closed the 270 strike. So, and as you know from my previous videos, that closeout was not going to be cheap. So if we look here, we scroll to the right, my reaction is stunned that they did this so early, by the way. The big number here is the 29,880 contracts. They did this in two trades, not sure why, but regardless, overall, if you look at this total, it's about, about $230 million loss on the synthetic, right? And that's going to hurt. So if you look, my running profit as of yesterday was 47 million credit for the month. And then if you go down to row 98, adding the $215 million debit, we're now in the hole, 167 million. So obviously we're not gonna regain that. And the reason I know that is because if you look again, those were the closed positions. We had to take a hit, which we knew. However, what I did not know, well, two things. I did not know they were going to roll it already. And another thing is I did not know they were going to lower the strike from 270 to 190. And in doing that, they're not going to get as much as a credit on the sell put. As you can see, the 29,880, they only got 45 million credit. So that does not do a dent into the debit of 215 million. So it's, this new synthetic position cost us a lot of money. A lot. And I am beyond surprised. I'm not sure what to think. I mean, the one thing I didn't mention is they only rolled it out 3 months. They rolled it to January 19th, 2024. So that's unlike them as well. I know the synthetics typically go out 6 months to 1 year. My 7-year-old's upstairs just yelling and screaming, making noise. I have no idea what's going on. But if you guys do hear that, I apologize. So yeah, the new synthetic, they rolled it down from 270 to 190 and only out 3 months. Needless to say, they took a hit. They took a hit. They took a hit, a massive hit. And then outside of the synthetic closing and synthetic open, they also added 330 additional contracts, and they sold a short call with a strike of 207.50, which is 5.14% out of the money, which expires this Friday, which, I give the kind of whatever face grinding my teeth. So at the end of the day, how are we looking? Not good, because 47 million credit is gone, and now we sit here and we hold a $225 million debit. The outstanding shares on a bloody day like yesterday still went up, so that's always a good thing. However, the premium per share, we're showing we owe them $368, right? As you can see, the credit was an amount due us. A debit is an amount due them. Running yield, forget it. I mean, I don't even want to go any further. Obviously, we're not going to pay them money. So my understanding and thinking immediately seeing this is that the synthetic position is not part of our payout. And I think that whatever they make on the synthetic, the put, the buy call, whatever they make on that, I think that's separate. I think they hold that separate, and they credit and debit that together. And I'm assuming at the end of this year, there will be either a gain or a loss that we will have to take to the NAV. If it's a gain, maybe we'll get paid out 90% of it. If it's a loss, maybe that's deducted from the NAV. That's my thinking. I always assumed, and this was my fault because I didn't know, right? This is the first month looking at it. I always assumed the premium they made on the sell put from the synthetic was going to go to us. But now that I'm looking at this, it makes sense to me now that it's probably held separate. Because if it's not, we ain't getting anything this month. But I think the synthetic is, and I'll show you that in a later tab, by the way, how another reason why I think that. So anyway, let's move on. This was a terrible tab. Let's go to the closed positions. So they added a new position, 207.50. Nothing closed. So nothing closed from the short calls, obviously. The active positions, I added the 207.50, and we still have the 220 standing, which is 11% out of the money. They're probably going to roll that down if this week stays pretty bloody. As you know, Tesla price got killed yesterday, down to 197.36. And just so you guys know, I added what they did yesterday with the synthetic. So the top two shows what they made and lost. So obviously the red is what they had to pay, and the green is what they got back. So, if you look at the put, for example, they had to pay 72 for the put, and the new put only gave them 15. That's per share. So obviously not great. And even with the buy call that they sold back, they only got 13 cents. The new buy call, they had to pay 25. So we lost $275 million yesterday. I have a note here because they did it in 2 transactions. So the trade prices varied for a smaller portion of these synthetics. So this is not exact. It's a ballpark, right? So you can obviously get the exact numbers if you wanted to run it. I didn't want to make more rows. So this is, again, the ballpark loss that they took on the synthetic play yesterday. Now, this is going to be interesting. So let's check this out, guys. We go to the price. So yesterday, obviously, Tesla took a massive crap. I was kind of surprised. Maybe some of you are not, because a lot of people do think it's just going to go down to 180, 150. but it went down 4.79%. Now, TSLY only went down 3.87%. So variance in TSLY's favor by 0.93%. Running variance, again, in total for the month, TSLY's beating Tesla 1.16%. However, look at the premium. We lost money on premium, right? We lost 446. So how did TSLY possibly beat Tesla when they lost 446 per share? I'll tell you how, because the synthetics are not counting towards the NAV or the stock price or the ETF price, whatever. At least, again, this is my assumption. This is my thinking. This is what I'm gathering from it. Because if it was considered, then Tesla would have tanked yesterday, right? That NAV would have went straight down. So the fact that the synthetic movement is not considered in the NAV, and when I say synthetic movement, the synthetic income, right? Every time they create a synthetic, it's a buy call and a sell put. So if they make a net credit from the sell put, then, sell put plus buy call, then obviously, there's income. But that income, it does not seem to be included. Similar when they have to pay out, when there's not income, when there's money due out, obviously, then, we would see Tesla down to $6. And clearly, these fund managers are not going to allow that to happen. So obviously, the premium would have tanked 40%, any difference, 41%. But, these numbers are skewed now. These numbers are not, this tab is essentially useless. I have to redo it for now, the month of November, based on what I learned. But at least doing this tab, it proved to me that the synthetic play, the trades that they do on the synthetic do not affect the NAV. At least not yesterday. Let me know what you guys think on that, because was that a surprise to you? I mean, it was a surprise to me. But at least I know now. Lesson learned. Now, this tab, also useless because, as you recall, maybe from prior videos, the debit was the amount we were getting paid. And now we're showing we owe money, $368. We owe them, right? So I'm not even going to go through this, but what a mess. Obviously, again, I was incorrect in assuming that synthetic income went towards our monthly distribution payment. So again, lesson learned. No, there wasn't. The only way I was going to learn this is by doing this. So again, I hope you guys, I'm sorry I got your hopes up for the, the distribution, but there was no other way, to figure this out outside of just doing all of this breakdown. All right, so now let's take a look. Oddly enough, me doing this yesterday and, doing the breakdown, it came in handy because I already had it done and all I had to do was plug in the new numbers. So look at the synthetics for the month. They lost $255 million for the synthetics for the month. Now, I am so curious to know how much they made in previous months. I mean, I really do hope that they nailed it out of the park in previous months for the synthetics. I don't know, but I hope that information becomes available. Again, if the synthetics net a debit at the end of the year, what will happen to the NAV? Do they have to, I assume they have to report the loss and we have to take the hit on the NAV? And on the flip side, what if the synthetics have a total credit by the end of the year? I assume they'll pay us out 90%, like a bonus check. Will that come on the December distribution? I don't know. Lots of questions still. But what I do know is we are going to get paid based on call income. Call income for the month has produced $29.7 million. 100% payout is 49 cents. 90% payout is 44 cents. So treasuries, obviously, not much change there. So now our outstanding shares, obviously 61.2 million. So now let's look at the new numbers again. I apologize. I was showing like 70 to 80 cents. Obviously, that's no longer the case because we do not get paid synthetic premium. And good thing, because if we did, we'd get no payment this month. So that being said, we now have a new, expected low payout and expected high payout. Expected low distribution payment, 44 cents. And that's based on just call income, and that's 90% of it. Expected high income, high distribution for the month is 55 cents, which is 100% payout of the calls plus 6 cents from the treasuries, assuming treasuries pay out monthly. Again, treasuries could pay out at the end of the year too. So, and obviously TSLY went below $11. We now are at the 1093 mark. So what are my thoughts on all this? Well, for one, the synthetic play is very confusing how they rolled it that far down. I would have thought they would have just at least stayed at the 270, rolled it out another year, right? Leave it alone. Or maybe, they wanted to just get out of that and just take the hit. I'm assuming if they're taking this big of a hit that they have a credit to net it against. That's, again, this is my thinking. You guys can have your own thoughts and please leave them in the comments. We're all learning together. That could be completely off. But again, that's my thinking. Because why else? Why would they roll it that far down and only a 3-month expiration? I don't understand. Again, there has to be a method to the madness. There always is, and they're always they're usually good. They're usually right. So outside of the synthetic, now that I know, they're going to only pay pretty much based on premium income on the short calls. Honestly, this is good news for me because it makes my life easier for tracking purposes. So I'm going to track these synthetics completely separate from the short calls. And I'll start that next month. So next month's spreadsheet will have a slightly different layout because it'll be slightly different. And for better or for worse. So needless to say, the moral of the story is we only have one trading day left. So we're pretty much, this is the payment. We're looking at 44 cents to 55 cents. Even if it's the low, 44 cents, that's still a 48% yield. So that's not bad. The highest is a 60% yield. That's really good. So I hope they pay out the high. I really do. Because we deserve it. I mean, we took a beating. So we need something to raise our spirits. Obviously, I know it gets deducted from the NAV anyway, blah, blah, blah. But, it's not the point here. The point is keeping your shareholders happy. So, guys, that's it. I hope you guys learned from this, because I did. I was not expecting all that action yesterday, but I guess it was better to happen yesterday than today, because today's Halloween, and I'll be out and about and won't have time for crap. So it'll, it's easier to happen then. So, let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comments. If you enjoy this content, please click like. Again, this is a popular, video series that I will continue to do, definitely through the month of November. And after that, I will decide whether or not I should continue to do this or maybe just go towards QQQY and then focus on that and see what they do daily. But I can't do both. I'm sorry. I just don't have the time with work and family. But, it's all about learning. So if you guys would rather learn about TSLY daily, that's fine too. I'm learning all the time. Next month, guess what? We're going to learn more. So, all right, that's it for TSLY. There was news yesterday on Defiance ETFs. Let me share that. Go to photos. So QQQY has $1. They have declared that they will pay $1, and they will pay it on November 6th. The ex-dividend date is November 1st. So if you buy it today, you will qualify for that $1 distribution. Now, keep in mind, QQQY, it had about, 2 weeks last month, and they paid $1.10. Obviously, things went well last month on almost every day. This month, they kind of got hammered. As you know from my video on Saturday, they had a terrible week. But in the end, guess what? They had more good days than bad. So they were able to pay $1. And I believe that comes to a 50 or 60% yield. Pretty good. So this is some good news, guys, right? I'm trying to raise your spirits here. Let's look at JEPY. So JEPY, again, the dates are the same. So if you buy today, you'll qualify. They're, looks similar to QQQY in comparison to the prior month. JEPY paid 90 cents last month, and that was not even 2 weeks. And this month, they have a full month. They paid 91 cents. But again, the market was just not good this month. down. And this is a bullish play. They sell puts. That's a bullish play. And they still made money. That gives me hope on these funds. I do really like these funds. They are kind of scary because they're daily. But, I mean, after what I'm going through on TSLY, I don't think anything's going to scare me. So, that's it on JEPY. And also, back to TSLY, I see a lot of people panic selling. I just want I want you guys to just sit back and relax and think about it before you do that, right? Again, not financial advice, but it's all based on the underlying. TSLY's going down, not because the fund sucks, but because Tesla is just tanking. People are selling off. And it's going to eventually settle, right? There's points of support where they will get to, which could be 180. It could be 150, or it could be where it's at now, right? Where is it at now? If you go to active, yeah, it's at 197. So today could fully recover to 200s, right? Who knows? But if you believe in Tesla, then selling TSLY at the lows of the lows, these are all-time lows too. I mean, it's not really, it won't help you out. But do what you got to do. If this is not like for you, if your stomach can't handle it, you can't sleep at night, sell it. But if you believe in Tesla and you still like this ETF, then patience is key here. Believe me. I mean, I don't like being down, but I get it. I understand how this fund works. And I understand it can get worse. So I'm bracing for that. Which makes me think I should make a video bracing for the worst and what TSLY could look like if Tesla went down to 150. So maybe that would help people. Let me know in the comments too. If you guys hung around this long on the video, appreciate it. But I think I'm done. I got to get, start work, get my son ready for school. It's Halloween, so who knows if he wants to get dressed up. We'll see, Kids are crazy at this age. But that's all I got. Happy Halloween. Hope you guys enjoy your day. Enjoy some candy. Enjoy some time with your family. And again, thanks again for watching my content. All right. Talk to you tomorrow. Later.